Hey y'all, welcome back to another video where we will be exploring the terrifying world of Microsoft Edge articles. Yes, before you say it, I know, I have sinned. I used Microsoft Edge, but let me tell you something before you get mad. I hated the entire experience, so like, we're even. Anyways, one of the biggest hates I had was the abominable amount of clickbait articles, which are basically to the point of not even being true, like, at all. And after looking through some of these titles, I thought it'd be fun to just stumble headfirst into these articles and see what kind of stuff we can find. Okay, so for those of you who haven't used Microsoft Edge, thank God, let me paint a picture for you, okay? So basically, when you open up Microsoft Edge, the first thing you see is a search box, like most search engines. However, literally right underneath it, it is just non-stop clickbait articles. And it's like preying on people who might not be able to tell the difference between truth and lies. And you guys, you may think I'm being dramatic here, but let me just spew some of these nonsense titles at you so you know what kind of stuff you're dealing with Microsoft Edge. We got classic titles like Audiologists Beg Americans Try These Hearing Aids. And, ooh, how to get free Renegade Raider skin in Fortnite. And another classic for you guys, why do babies smell good? I know, an original. And finally, we got, things parents should never say to their kids, which are all things we'll be covering in this video. Just by the titles alone, you can tell how misleading and somewhat creepy some of these, articles are. But let's actually dig deeper into these. Starting with the revolutionary hearing aids that audiologists can't help but beg Americans specifically to use. The article itself is a bit boring. I thought it was interesting that after opening it up, the headline was completely different than the one advertised. But yeah, it's just basically this like nerdy science paper backed up by like no actual evidence, which is great. But what I really wanted to talk about was this image right here in the article. Like, what does this even mean? If you don't use Here.com hearing aids, your skin turns gray? Honestly, I gotta give it to them. It's an amazing tactic. Scare elderly people by telling them using other hearing aids will make them look even older than they already are. Flawless plan. Slightly offensive statement aside, I wanted to talk about this Fortnite article as well because it's literally the definition of not true. And they disprove what they say in their own article. Here, let me just read you this quote slipped into the end of the article conveniently after the user has passed all ads and has read the rest of the article. And remember, this article is about how to teach little Timmy to get a free Fortnite skin so he doesn't have to steal his mom's credit card again. Yet, the very last section of this article says, and I quote, "As per the viral videos, you'd get the Renegade Raider skin, but in actuality, you get nothing, and it's a total shame how many players thought they could get the skin for free, and did all those steps to learn that it's just a sham." And let me tell you, this really pushes my buttons. They are luring young kids that play Fortnite into this article for the promise of free Fortnite skins. Yet at the end of their own article, they literally say it's impossible. Then like, why didn't you name the article, "The Renegade Raider skin cannot be obtained for free," random guy states, or something like that? Well, it's obviously for a higher click ratio, but still, it just really bothers me. I'm getting a bit off the rails here, so I'm gonna move on to the next article, which according to the title, will tell us why babies objectively smell good, which is definitely not a creepy headline for an article. Oh, and man, let me tell you, this article is absolutely wild from the beginning, with the first paragraph stating this: "A few weeks ago, after my daughter's birth, a woman asked to smell her head. My wife and I were a bit weirded out, but didn't see the harm in letting her have a whiff. Granted access, she bent down a few inches from my little girl's head, breathed deeply, and then glowed with the satisfaction of a stoner." Like, was there no better way you could have said that? Like, even reading the script out loud makes me feel like I should get arrested. Like, I know the premise of the article was a weird one, but the opening freaking paragraph just feels so incredibly wrong. And to make matters worse, guys, they provided this picture where this dude is sniffing his baby so hard its fists are basically up its nose. Like, the concept of liking the scent of your newborn child, it isn't really that weird. I know I worded it terribly, but I think y'all know what I mean. Anyways, it's just the way it's presented in this article. It just comes off as creepy. And yeah, it's just something I really wanted to talk about. The rest of the article is just boring science stuff, so I'm not going to highlight any more of it. But rather, we're going to move on to the last article we'll be checking out for this video, which will help us understand what not to say to a child, because, well, I don't really know, I just think we should, honestly. Now let me get the boring stuff in this article out of the way, which is the layout. It's literally just a generic Shutterstock photo, like, above a quote, followed by a generic statement on why you wouldn't want to say that quote. And as you scroll through the images, like, the text will change as well. So I mean, I guess it's interesting, just wanted to point that out. Anyways, moving on, if I were to be completely honest, some of these quotes here are actually pretty good. However, that doesn't make good content, obviously, so we'll be looking at some of the more wacky quotes that are on here. For example, you know that relatable moment where your parents tell you they don't know how they will pay the bills this month? Thankfully, this article acknowledges how dangerous this statement is and the anxiety it causes to a child, which on the surface, it may seem logical, I don't know, but I rarely ever hear a parent tell their child they can't pay the bills than the child actually comprehending what that means. Like, could you imagine a dad telling his 4-year-old son, "Listen, bud, it's been a bit rough lately. We are struggling to pay the bills." And then the 4-year-old like nodding and being like, "Dad, I am now nervous for the well-being of this family. I hope we remain okay, father." Like, it's just such a weird scenario. And in all honesty, I really don't see a scenario where a parent telling their like older son that they can't buy V-Bucks this month because they're struggling with the bills will like cause massive anxiety. And there are just so many examples of this in this article where they just do this to get extra revenue, obviously. So instead of showing more of these generic examples, I would like to just show you this image without context at all and allow your brain to just take in whatever is going on here. I don't know why, but I just found this so hilarious when I was casually scrolling through these quotes, and I just thought I had to share it with you guys. It's funny. Anyways, guys, this will be the end of looking through weird and clickbaity articles found on Microsoft Edge. I may show more of these articles in the future, as I think it's pretty fun to see what can be found by like doing no digging. But yeah, I know none of this clickbait stuff is really a groundbreaking discovery. I feel like most people like and their dogs know about it. But I think it's just fun to highlight how wild and misleading clickbait gets sometimes. Anyways, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I do hope to make more commentary style videos soon. So yeah, that's all I have for now. Bye y'all!